$100 for this t-shirt. It's soft, it's organic, and it's got this really cool graphic. Be careful when people tell you how great they think your idea is, because your next question should always be, okay, how much would you pay for it? I get people asking me all the time, how do you figure out how to price your stuff? I can't tell you how frustrating it was as a buyer when vendors would come in, you would love something, and they couldn't tell you the price of it. People do not have time to waste. When are we all going to get that? If you make an appointment with a buyer to present your line, you better go in there knowing your prices. Lesson 1, know your prices before your appointments. All that, I'm not too sure, I'll email you later stuff, does not fly. By the time you email them, they've already seen 20 other people who knew their prices and now have a spot in their line. Lesson number 2, be a super spy. Even established designers send in employees to their competitors to find out what the pricing is. And this isn't about copying. This is about knowing your market. What are other people able to price their items at? You are competing with them, so you need to know what are the other price points out there, how do you compare, where do you fit? So how do you price this stuff anyways? Well, the price is determined by the fair market value. So what is fair? It's like, do your research. The value and the price must be reflected accurately. I love to use the $100 t-shirt as an example. So we have this $100 t-shirt. What are you going to tell the buyer? Oh, it's bamboo, it's organic. P.S. Bamboo and organic do not translate to a higher price tag. Sorry, the consumers have not figured that out yet. They don't care that it's softer. They don't care that it's ethically sourced. And now listen, I'm all about ethical. I'm all about saving the planet. If the customer in that market doesn't understand it and doesn't want to pay for it, then you're not in business. So I'll say it again. Understand the price range for the market that you're in. Never undercut your costs just to get into certain stores. That will hurt you in the long run. It's not to say that there are not $100 t-shirts out there that are totally wicked. P.S. Own a few, don't want to talk about it. But can you sell them in volume? Because that's all the buyer wants to know. They do not want to hear that you sold a bunch of it to your friends and they loved it and they paid $100 for it. Ain't nobody care about that. They want to know they're going to be able to sell it in drones, it's going to be flying off the shelf, and everybody wants it. Selling a few to your friends and family does not a business make. Doing your research, what does that really mean? It means researching the retailer before you make the appointment. So you know the price points that they sell at. You have a $100 t-shirt, you need to know what rack you're going to be sitting on. You need to know what other designers you're going to be competing with. And don't say you don't have any competition, because if you think that, you're in trouble, and we don't need to go down that road. You are always competing with existing brands that already have name recognition. So you need to always keep that top of mind. You want to be in this retailer, fantastic. You need to know who you're sitting next to on a rack. And why is that customer going to pick your t-shirt versus their t-shirt? That is an answer you need to know before you go into that appointment. Know your margins. It doesn't matter what you price it at, and it doesn't matter what you sell it at if you are not making any money. Your profit margin, hence the word profit, is the difference between your selling price and your cost. If you price your collection too high, you can't sell it. Now, if you price your collection too low, you lose your profit margins. And this will eventually bankrupt you. Insert sad face here. You need to be ready to explain your price points to your buyers. Stores buy to fit into certain price points. So you can't price your $100 t-shirt at $100 now and want to price it at $200 later. The buyers know you as the $100 t-shirt guy. We need a $100 t-shirt in our offering. We put you in that category. You can't go jack up the price later. You'll lose your buyer and you'll lose your customer. Construction, the production, and the fabric define your costs. So thank you so much for joining me. Today we talked about price. We're going to continue in the next episode and talk more about price, because this is a real issue that I find that you guys are struggling with. I know I struggled with it. I've had a lot of people ask me about this. So I'm so happy to cover this topic. Tune into the next episode so you don't miss out. And follow me on Twitter and Instagram at IMONIQ, IMONIQ. And if you want to see the cool things that I create and I make, check me out, www.imoniq.com. Link in the show notes. And hit me up. If you want to have an idea for a show, let me know. See you next time. Bye.